So you start meditating, you come to the spiritual path, and you may think that, oh yes, I'm doing this meditation and it has a goal. I'm doing meditation in order to get something out of spirituality. And this is a very habitual approach. Your whole life you have been taught to do things in order to get a certain outcome. It is very natural to do the same when you come to spiritual practices. And this is something you have to shake off over probably many years. This will always come up, and look out for that impulse of self-centered goals, where yourself wants to do something for itself. It is a constant process of looking at this dynamic of, am I just letting things be, or am I trying to achieve something here? And that's really where you have to drop all agenda, all goal setting, while at the same time realizing that this is a process. It's a process of evolving, but you have to kind of let the process unfold through you instead of you driving the process. And here it may be interesting for you to know that even spiritual masters, Zen masters, when they have meditated for 20, 30, 40, 60 or more years, they are still doing it long after enlightenment. And what you realize at one point in your journey is that this idea of enlightenment is kind of dissolving itself with it. So the goal of the journey is the end of the journey. But you cannot just end the journey and achieve the goal by just deciding it. And what that means for your meditative practice is that they become one and the same with all of reality, with just life. And meditation is just one more expression of this unfolding that is life, existence, or just consciousness. So there is a deep wisdom in continuing to meditate, even though you may feel that, oh yes, I have achieved something really profound here, and now I know everything. But actually you will realize that there is no end to this journey. There will be an ever more refinement of your understanding, of your ability to see clearly in every situation. And there will be even more to discover, even more identification to dissolve, even after you have seen your true self. I continue to meditate, even though I had deep insights. But those insights don't dissolve all attachment, all habitual unfolding of behavior in one instance. It's not like all those mental tendencies get erased by just seeing how things actually are. It's more like a profound insight of how much is still in the way of you being able to fully embody that truth, and where you are now, how much there's to do from what you just realized in moments of awakening, to make those shine through every aspect of your reality, every aspect of your life and your experiences. So realize it is an ongoing process. And you can also think of it like a habit, like some hobby that is very dear to you. And imagine you do that for 10 years. And you have learned everything about it. You have read so much. You have studied it so deeply. You have come to love it. You have made it a part of you. And that's not going to end. That's not going to fall away. It's going to transform completely. As I mentioned in the beginning, the approach you take to your meditation, that will change drastically. And even what you think about what meditation is, that will change. You will come to an understanding that is so different from where you start out, that you can still understand why you did certain things and how you were seeing the world, but they will be difficult to see them as true anymore, or impossible, let's say, because they are replaced by this deeper knowing of what is just true. And that's one of the interesting aspects of truth. Truth cannot be hurt by anything. And you will have experienced that already before. Once you know something for certain, it's unshakable. Whatever anybody tells you when they come to you and speak about a certain topic which you know for certain, it cannot be challenged by anything else but the truth itself. And when you realize that about something, about a certain topic, that it is shakeable, that when you hear something else about it, it is legitimately questioning what you know about it, then it might be a very good hint that what you think you know isn't actually true. So there will come a point where there is so much clarity for you about your whole path, about what meditation is, of how you do it, what you should do, that it will feel like rock solid. You will know for sure that it takes you, that it leads to where you want to go, because you have experienced its power. And only then can you know. Before that, that's where faith comes in, and where it's very important. Before you know what works and what not, you have to have faith. You have to use your logic and reasoning to decide which is the best path, which is the best method, and then pick the one that just seems to be the best, which makes the most sense to you. And then you have to trust that it works. You will resonate with certain teachings and teachers, and through your own investigation, your own trial and error, you will find that which takes you there, which works. And by realizing that meditation will be with you very likely for the rest of your life, you can relax into it. You can relax into the practice and be very content that even the smallest increments of increasing difficulty are enough. You are thankful for every opportunity for insight and for everything that manifests and unfolds and changes your behavior, an insight, whether deep or shallow, in the face of a lifelong practice. You will realize how valuable all of that is. And you're not looking for that one big instance where everything changes, because that actually stands in the way of you achieving the mastery, achieving and putting in the time and effort that's required. Because if you approach it as, oh, I just meditate hard for a year and then I will be done, you will end the journey in frustration. Recognize that this journey is like any other field where you have to master something. It's about putting in the time and right effort to master these skills, the techniques, and then yes, you will have great deep insights and transformative experiences. But usually they come with the same insight that even though this was a great change, a great deep transformative insight, it also shows you where to go, how much more there is to achieve, how your personality, how yourself is still in so many ways putting dirt, actual dirt, onto your true nature. How much it distorts the beauty of this pure, peaceful being that you are at the core. And so expect that those deep insights will actually give you more motivation to meditate, even with more effort, with more vigilance, and maybe put in even more time. Dedicate more of your life to this achievement, because you see how great it is. And that's just something I wanted to share here with you, especially if you are starting out and picking up a meditation habit, that you really see it as another healthy habit. If you start out, you see it as when you join the gym or start exercising, you don't do that because you say, oh, in a year everything will be fixed and I will be super fit and I don't have to do it from there on for the rest of my life. I'm done with fitness. That's not how that works. And in every sport, especially natural bodybuilding, for example, people who stick with that and really dive deep into it, gather all the knowledge there is and train in the right way with the right effort, their physiques, you can see it in that case. You can see how incredible it is what they have achieved. And that takes 10, 20, 30 years. And that's really where the difference becomes startling between a 50-year-old who has trained for 30 years and has let this practice and this training influence all of his life, eats right, eats well, doesn't drink alcohol, cares for his body, how healthy he is, the way he looks, how fit he is. That will be in the top 1% of people. Because yeah, there are many who go to the gym, but they don't put in the right effort. They don't really want to be the best version of themselves. And even though this might sound very counterintuitive and contradicting to what I said before, that your goals in meditation shouldn't be self-driven, they should have no self-agenda. That is what is absolutely necessary. But from the point of view of surrendering yourself to the process. And that's very subtle. You might be confused now, because even though my example was in bodybuilding, natural bodybuilding, where many people think that's so egocentric, so ego-driven and desire-driven, it can actually be a very selfless practice, where you refine your physique, because once you have trained for like 5 or even 10 years, you have achieved like 80-90% of the muscle growth you will ever get. But then maybe the last 10% or the last 20%, people who put in the effort to even get to that will make all the difference in how people perceive it. And the same initial effort needs to be put into your meditation and into your practice, where you think, I'm surrendering myself to that complete transformation. I let this practice transform myself into something great. Maybe I cannot yet fathom what it will be like, but I will just trust and surrender myself to that process, and really have this as long-term vision, long-term goal. I heard another example of how this process works, and I really like it. That is, imagine the goal is to fill a bathtub with water, but the only method you would have to fill that bathtub is to put in 1 drop a day. You can go there once a day and put in 1 drop of water. And let's imagine it wouldn't evaporate. But that would take 10, 20 years, I don't know, but it will take a long time. And when you can keep that in the back of your mind, that it will take a while until you can really, really see what this practice can do for you. While at the same time seeing how beautiful already the fruits are, how beautiful it already is what you have got out of your practice. So really let this video be, or this podcast, be an inspiration for you, for yourself, to just trust the process, surrender to it, and view it from the perspective of, I will do this for the rest of my life, and see all of your achievements in that light. So with that, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.